Hello, and welcome back to our channel. Today, we are delving into a case that captivated and horrified the nation. A story of obsession that spiraled into a brutal, unforgettable crime. He was a charismatic, successful motivational speaker with a bright future ahead of him. She was the beautiful, enigmatic ex-girlfriend who simply couldn't let go. When their turbulent romance ended, one of them would end up paying the ultimate price. This is the chilling story of Jodi Arias and the murder of Travis Alexander. Travis Alexander was the kind of person everyone seemed to love. Living in Mesa, Arizona, he was ambitious, deeply religious, and had a wide circle of friends who looked up to him. He was building a successful career and seemed to have everything going for him. In September 2006, his life took a dramatic turn when he met Jodi Arias at a conference in Las Vegas. The attraction was immediate and undeniable. She was captivating, adventurous, and completely smitten with him. They quickly began a long-distance relationship filled with passion and intensity. But beneath the surface, a toxic dynamic was brewing. Friends of Travis noticed that while the chemistry was strong, the relationship was also incredibly volatile. They would have explosive arguments followed by dramatic reconciliations. It was a cycle of breaking up and getting back together that left those around them concerned. Travis, a devout Mormon, struggled with the physical nature of their relationship, which clashed with his faith. This internal conflict added another layer of tension to their already complicated connection. After just 5 months of dating, they officially broke up for the first time in early 2007. But for Jodi, over was just a word. She moved from California to Mesa, Arizona, just a few minutes away from Travis's home, claiming it was for a new job. In reality, it was the beginning of a pattern of behavior that grew increasingly alarming. She would show up at his house unannounced, sometimes letting herself in with a key she wasn't supposed to have. She was known to listen in on his conversations and go through his personal messages. Friends reported that she would even slash the tires on his car when she felt jealous or rejected. Travis found himself in a difficult position. He still cared for Jodi, and they continued a physical relationship, but he made it clear to his friends that he knew they had no future together. He was actively trying to move on and date other women, but Jodi was a constant, unsettling presence in his life. He confided in friends that he was genuinely scared of her, describing her behavior as obsessive and erratic. He felt trapped, unable to fully sever ties with a woman who refused to accept that their romance was finished. By the spring of 2008, Travis was determined to end things for good. He had started dating another woman and was excited about the prospect of a healthy, stable relationship that aligned with his values. He told Jodi he was done, but she wasn't listening. On June 2, 2008, Jodi Arias left her grandparents' home in Eureka, California, and began a long, strange road trip. She rented a car, but told her grandparents she was going on a business trip in Utah. Instead, she drove towards Arizona. Along the way, she made several curious stops. She bought gas cans and filled them up, seemingly to avoid using her credit card and creating a digital trail. She even turned off her cell phone for long periods of time during the drive. Her destination was Travis Alexander's home in Mesa. She would later claim the trip was a spontaneous decision to see him one last time. But the items she brought with her, a .25 caliber handgun and a knife, suggested a much darker purpose. On June 4, 2008, Jodi arrived at Travis's house. What happened inside would become the focus of one of the most sensational trials in recent history. We know part of the story because of a digital camera Travis owned. That afternoon, the camera captured a series of intimate photos. Travis in the shower, smiling, posing playfully. He seems completely at ease, unaware of the danger he is in. The last photo of him alive was taken at 5:29 p.m. Just 1 minute later, at 5:30 p.m., the camera captures a blurry, chaotic image. It's a picture of the ceiling, but at the bottom of the frame, you can see a leg and what appears to be blood on the floor. It is the visual record of the moment a playful afternoon turned into a horrific struggle for life. In those moments, Travis Alexander was brutally attacked. He was stabbed 27 times, his throat was slit from ear to ear, and he was shot in the head. The attack was ferocious, personal, and fueled by an incomprehensible rage. After the murder, Jodi Arias vanished, leaving a scene of unimaginable violence behind her. 5 days later, on June 9th, concerned friends who hadn't heard from Travis went to his home to check on him. They discovered the horrific scene in his master bathroom and immediately called the police. The investigation began, and detectives quickly focused on his volatile ex-girlfriend, Jodi Arias. When they first questioned her, Jodi was calm, collected, and denied everything. She insisted she hadn't seen Travis in months and had no idea what could have happened to him. She played the part of the grieving ex-girlfriend, telling investigators how much she loved him and that she could never imagine hurting him. But her story quickly began to unravel. Her alibi didn't hold up, and as investigators dug deeper, they found a crucial piece of evidence that Jodi had tried to destroy. Hidden inside the washing machine at Travis's home was his digital camera. Jodi had attempted to wash it, hoping to erase any evidence of her presence, but crime lab technicians were able to recover the deleted photos from the memory card. And there they were, the intimate photos of Travis, the picture of Jodi taken in his house on the day of the murder, and the chilling, accidental shot of the bloody struggle. She was caught. Faced with this irrefutable evidence, Jodi's story changed. Her initial denial was no longer believable, so she crafted a new narrative. She admitted she was there, but claimed that two masked intruders had broken in, murdered Travis, and attacked her. She said she was too terrified to go to the police. This story was just as unbelievable as the first, and investigators saw right through it. Finally, with her back against the wall, she changed her story one last time, settling on the defense she would take to trial: self-defense. She claimed that on that day, Travis had become enraged and attacked her, and that she had to kill him to save her own life. She painted a picture of herself as a battered, terrified victim, and Travis as an abusive monster. It was a shocking reversal from her initial claims of love and adoration, and it set the stage for a dramatic and highly publicized courtroom battle. The trial began in January 2013 and quickly became a media circus. Millions of people tuned in to watch the live-streamed proceedings. The prosecution laid out a mountain of evidence, arguing that this was a clear case of premeditated first-degree murder, driven by jealousy and obsession. They pointed to the gas cans, the turned-off cell phone, and the sheer brutality of the attack as proof that Jodi had planned everything. Jodi's testimony was the centerpiece of the trial. She spent 18 days on the stand, weaving a complex and often contradictory tale of abuse. However, under cross-examination by prosecutor Juan Martinez, her story began to fall apart. Her claims were inconsistent with the physical evidence, and her demeanor on the stand often came across as manipulative and insincere. The jury was left to decide. Was Jodi Arias a battered woman who tragically killed in self-defense, or a cold-blooded killer who meticulously planned the murder of her ex-boyfriend because she couldn't stand to see him with someone else? After a trial that lasted nearly 5 months, the jury reached a verdict. They didn't believe her story of self-defense. They found Jodi Arias guilty of first-degree murder. The courtroom erupted. The long, agonizing wait for justice for Travis Alexander's family was finally over. Following the guilty verdict, Jodi Arias was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. She will spend the rest of her days behind bars. The case of Jodi Arias is a tragic reminder of how quickly obsession can turn deadly. Travis Alexander was a man with a full life ahead of him, a life that was stolen in the most violent way imaginable. His family and friends are left with a permanent void and the haunting question of what if? What if she had just walked away? Jodi Arias tried to control the narrative, changing her story multiple times to fit the evidence. She claimed to be a victim, but the truth was found in the recovered photos, the digital trail she tried to erase, and the horrific wounds she inflicted. This wasn't a crime of passion or a moment of fear. It was the calculated final act of an obsession that refused to let go. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive into this incredibly compelling case. We know these stories can be heavy, but it's so important to understand the psychology behind them. If you want more true crime content, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Do you believe Jodi Arias planned the murder from the start, or did something snap in that moment? Let us know what you think. We release new videos every week, so we'll see you in the next one.